basic warm-ups. The way I like to do warm-ups is in a way that I can easily remember them in the future. So what I do is usually start from the top and work my way down. So the first one I like to do is arms up, point your fingers up, and circle. And every time you circle, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't worry about going fast on this. This isn't exercise or stretch or a warm-up routine about being fast. This is just about getting your muscles warmed up and going. Now this time we're going to go the other way, but as we go the other way, the circle is going to get smaller and smaller. Remember, we're not moving with our wrists or elbows, we're circling with our shoulders. Good. Now the next one, take your hands, put your fingers here, touching your shoulders. Big circles. We're going to make big circles with our elbows. Again, not concerned with speed. Concerned about just good, fluid motions. Other way. Try your best in these warm-ups not to make any herky-jerky, quick motions like that. If your muscles are not warmed up, that could be bad. And stop. Now, tilt your head to the side. A lot of people will say you don't need to warm up because you're not able to warm up before a real life self-defense situation. I disagree with them. Well, I'm pretty sure that you're not usually able to warm up before a real life self-defense street situation. Now tilt your head back. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't warm up when you could. Head down. So warm up as much as you could, and to say what they say, to me, sounds like them saying, well, at some point in your life, you're going to be in a swimming pool where a little kid's going to pee in the swimming pool, so you should always just be in a pool that a little kid swims in or pees in the swimming pool. I think that's bad logic. So head up, look over your left shoulder. So anytime if you unfortunately ever do find yourself in a real life on the street self-defense situation, tilt your head the other way. Yes, that is true. You will probably not be able to warm up, and your performance will probably suffer for it, and later you may even get some injuries because of it. I know I have. Head straight, but hopefully we'll never be in that situation, but we can be in a regular practice workout routine, and so that will occur much more often, so you should warm up. You should stretch out. So, now put your feet together, hands on your hips. Now we're going to circle with our hips. Try not to circle with your head. Big circles with your hips. It's called the hula stretch. I think it's obvious why. Other way. I find this a very helpful stretch, especially if for us older people, if you are driving a lot, you're in the car a lot, and my lower back starts to ache after a while, and I think this helps with that. I am not a doctor though, so please consult your physician. So now we're going to move down further. Stand on one foot, and the other foot's going to come up on the toes. From here, circle. Circle the other way. Good. Switch. Circle. Circle the other way. Good. Stop. Now we went from head to toe, so now we're going to kind of go back up just a little bit. So hands here, circle the wrist. Circle the other way. I've seen some instructors and some schools do it where they go back and forward and back. That's fine too, whatever works best for you. Just be really careful if you've not warmed up your wrists, stretch those out yet. If you do it very quickly in a jerking sort of motion, it might actually hurt your wrist a little bit, so go slow. Okay, good. Now, usually what I do from there is I usually go down to the ground. Hopefully you'll be indoors or in a nice spot, not outside like this, but I'm going to make the sacrifice so you learn. So we're going to be on the ground. Put your feet out. This is for the inside of the legs. You really do, if you can, want this to be stretched out, warmed up if possible. It helps movement a lot. The times that I have injured myself in sort of self-defense, real life self-defense situations where I didn't have time to warm up was always in this area here on the inside of my leg. All right, so hands up over your head. I'm gonna go side to side, touch both hands to one foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, stay right there. In this stretch, if you bring your legs back in or bend your knees between the sets, it's almost like you have to restart, like you've lost some of your progress. So now, take one leg, stretch it back a little bit further. You can do both legs, but to me, I think it's easier just to do one leg. So hands up. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, take the other leg. We're doing 3 sets of this. Stretch it out just a little bit further. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Excellent. Now, from there, what we're going to do is take our hands, put them in front, right here. Now, if that starts to give you a little bit of a stretch, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable at that point, that's where you need to stop. But if you can, kind of walk your hands out just a little bit further so that you lean forward a little bit further. If you still feel comfortable, go a little bit further. If you don't, stop right there. If you feel okay, go a little bit further. And remember, there's different types of pain, really. There's, well, I'm slightly uncomfortable pain. And then there's, I just heard something go snap, crackle, or pop. That second one, that's when you need to stop or take a step back. A little bit further. If you can. If you can't, that's okay. Hold where you're at. Or even retract a little bit. If you can, keep on going till you can get all the way down, forehead to the ground. Then when you're done, very slowly, come back up. Don't go fast. Now for this next one, always been a bit of a challenge for me, even when I was a kid. Pull your feet in together. Grab your feet with both hands. Stay there as you breathe in through your nose. Try to relax your legs. Do not make this like bobbing up and down motion. That actually is pretty bad for you. So just kind of relax. Stay there as you breathe in. Breathe out. Pull your forehead down. Your goal is to get your nose to your toes, if you can. But again, you get to a point where it's too uncomfortable. You hear something go snap, crackle, or pop, you should stop. Stay there as you breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Usually you want to do that, hold that for about 10 seconds. Further if you need to, or for a longer period if you need to. Or you can do a little bit shorter time and build up to a bigger time if you like. So that's the basic warm-ups. At the end, you could even add squats and push-ups, which is what we do a lot of times in our in-person classes. Basic techniques for modern metal elements. So we've got our form for a modern metal element, but also we need to worry about technique. So the basic technique for blocking is called an outside block. So we can start in our horse stance, hands here. I know usually I said don't do this, but in this case a little bit different. Hands here, and we're going to outside block. This way, then back. This way, and back. Think of it, it comes in across the middle of your body. That's why I like these buttons. It shows my center, the middle. Over to the other opposite arm, up and out, then back. Up, out, back, up, out, back, out, back, out, and back, out, and back. We call that an outside block because moves that go and end, moving towards the middle of your body, towards my buttons here, that's an inside move. If it goes away from that, that's an outside move, right? So this would be an inside block, that's an outside block. So here, 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 that's your outside block. Now, one of the big moves we do in the metal element form is the finger strike. That goes about eye level here. We're going to do it from our dragon stance. Finger strike. Right there. You can put your fingers out if you're going more for this area. Put your fingers together if you're going more for this area. Power is not important on this one. Speed and accuracy, like actually hitting your target, that's the really important thing on this move. Right there. Sometimes we will turn our hips just to get better range. You don't have to though, it could be a quick move. All right? Our hook kick, that's a big one in metal element. So we're here, we step behind, leg come up, and hook. Up and hook. We're doing our rear cross step, so this leg steps behind, then we shift all of our weight to that leg, come up, hook. Behind, up, hook. Behind, up, hook. It's really good for covering distance. Now also, as far as our basics go, we have our foot stomp. That's pretty simple technique, but it's very important. Now, when you do a foot stomp, don't just think of it like you're slapping your foot. Think of it like you're pushing. You're pushing your foot, but we're going to push it down. Now, if you do this on a person, the target you want is the top of the foot, right here. All right? But if you're really serious in a self-defense situation, try not to put your foot flat or straight out. Turn it. So that way there's a better chance you're going to hit somewhere on their foot. Right? Another basic technique, or a technique that we have in metal element modern, is that we transition stances, right? We go from a fortress to a dragon. Now, the big thing about that, what you'll see is my feet and my legs really change position. I'm a fairly wide horse stance here, in a fortress stance. Then this back foot has to kind of turn the foot, point it this way, move the foot up, and then the hand that was here has to go down, and the hand that was down has to come up. And then I change the position of my body. When I was in fortress, my shoulders were pointing this way. Now in dragon, they're pointing kind of mostly to the corner, but a little bit forward. So from here to here. So that's your basic moves in the form. All these modern forms, modern metal, modern wood, modern water, modern fire, modern earth, they all have basic techniques that you'll be learning along the way. All right, modern 5 elements metal. We're going to start with metal as the first in the series of 5. It's metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. You'll see the self-defense technique in metal is a foot stomp, which we'll talk about that later, but you'll see it a few times in the form. So, since this is a modern form, after we bow and salute, we'll step out and start with our left foot forward. So we will bow,
salute. Now we'll do it from this angle, then we'll switch angles in a little bit. So we're here, we're starting our dragon stance, also known as the San Ti. Alright, now from here we finger strike, then outside block with the right. Now we're going to finger strike with the left, but this is going to be closed fingers. First one, the fingers are spread out, aiming kind of high, top of the head level, not going to say eyes, but you know, eyes. And the second one goes to this area. Okay, so let's do that again. So we bow and salute. I'm going to start right side forward actually. So finger strike, come back to your San Ti, your dragon stance, outside block, finger strike throw, back to San Ti. Now let's start that over, but from a different angle. So now we're looking this way. Same thing, first little section, bow, salute, right side forward, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, here. Now we'll go other side. So bow, salute, right side forward, finger strike, eye level, back, outside block, back, finger strike, throat level. Now when we're practicing this in the form, and we do it segmented, or we do it sequentially. So that's to say, finger strike, then outside block. If you think of this as a real life application, like in a self-defense situation, you could do that at the same time. Matter of fact, in traditional Xing Yi, that's one of the big moves or techniques is to do things simultaneously, punch and block at the same time. So that's just for practice, the sequential motion, in real life, at the same time. So let's do it again. So bow, salute, here, finger strike, outside block, finger strike. Now we're going to add a new move. So from here, your right foot's going to pick up, shift your weight onto your back leg, up, bear kick. Set it down into a fortress stance. Now you'll see that a lot better from a different angle. So bow, salute, right side forward, finger strike, outside block, finger strike throat level. Right leg picks up, shift your weight, bear kick, bring it in, step it down, now we're in a fortress. Now same thing from the other side. Bow, salute, right side forward, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick. Some schools call that a mule kick. Fortress, here. So when we're doing that, make sure that you flow from one move to the other. Try not to stall in between them once you get the motions down. So bow, salute, here. Finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, fortress. Now from here we're going to add a new move. So I'm going to take my right foot and do a rear cross step. And as I do that, my left foot is going to come up. I'm going to put my weight on my back leg. So this is going to be our hook kick that we'll go over in the techniques, or have gone over in the techniques. Come up and bend. Step back down in a fortress. So if you see that from a different angle, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, fortress, hook kick, fortress. Now again, from the other angle. Oh, this other angle. Here. Finger strike, eye level, outside block, finger strike throat, pull it in, bear kick, fortress, step behind. See? And as you do that, then just raise up and bend and land. Right? Now, from there, we're going to add in the foot stomp. We will cover this more in the self-defense sections, but this is kind of just a little practice, or a little way to put it into your routine to practice. salute, here, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, fortress, hook kick, stomp, back foot. And by back foot, we mean whichever way you're facing, that leg is forward foot or front foot. The other leg is back foot. So stomp with that one, then stomp with the forward foot. Then switch from your fortress back to your dragon. And that ends the form. Alright, now let's do that again from another angle. So we bow, salute, outside forward, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, set it down, we're in fortress, hook kick, stomp, stomp, from fortress to dragon stance. Other angle. I don't know why I keep facing that way when I say other angle, but I totally am. So bow, salute, here, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, land in our fortress, hook kick, stomp, stomp, go from there to your dragon stance. It's okay to adjust your foot if needed. And I actually not only bring it in, I'll turn the orientation of it. So now it's pointing that way, then turn it here, okay? So let's do that one more time from this angle, the entire form. Okay. Salute, outside forward, finger strike, outside block, finger strike, bear kick, hook kick, stomp, stomp, go from fortress to dragon stance. Now, one last time, this time without instruction. So if you were following along at home, see if you can do it without trying to listen to any instructions. Just do it in your own flow. Bow and salute. That is first of 5 elements modern. Although it is in a circle, so who knows where it begins and ends, but that's what I choose to call first. So this is another Qigong breathing exercise. This comes out of our version of the 8 pieces of brocade. 8 pieces of brocade is a very, very common exercise set, breathing exercise set. You can type it into YouTube and you can find a lot of different versions of it. And so this is pretty loosely based on that same thing. I took out a few that I didn't like teaching over the years and added in a few here and there. And that works for us. So I'm not too worried about keeping it 100% traditional because as far as I can tell, there's no 100% traditional way to do it. But anyway, this one is what we refer to as stomping dragon, and we're going to take a horse stance in it. So we can start here. We're going to take our right foot, step it out just a little bit. Our left foot, step it out like we got our horse stance. Now it can be pretty high starting off, but as you do the routine, the exercise, you might want to get a little bit lower. If you get tired, you might want to go a little bit higher. Just remember to be careful, okay? So, start with our hands here. Now we're take a big, deep breath in through our nose. And as we do that, we do this kind of blocking motion. I don't really think of it as a real block in a real street fighting, self-defense situation or sparring situation, but some people may block like this. So breathe in. Now from there, use your other hand to, as you breathe out through your mouth, you extend your arm in a punch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in.
The vertical fist, this is pretty much how we punch in our style. So I try to keep this in this exercise, even though you may see it done other ways, or even with a push, that's fine. And if you want to change it to that for you, that's fine too. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Extend your arm. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. If you're doing this at home, follow along with me. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Excellent. After that, you should get a little bit of energy going. I always do when I do it. And that is the stomping dragging exercise from our Qigong, our version of the 8 pieces of brocade. So let's talk about double sticks for a minute. We have a forearm striking drill that has been uploaded, and this actually goes off that. Now you might be thinking, what does forearms have to do with double sticks? Well, it's the same pattern. So what we're going to do is, let's think of it like we're in a kind of a high horse stance. We could take here, we can go 1, 2. Now you see that motion, from that first strike, we flip over. So if you saw this in the same motion as the forearm drill, but you're not really trying to hit forearms, it's almost like a chop, flip over, chop. You think of this with a sword, chop, flip over, chop, right? Stick, same thing, chop, flip over, chop. Now left, chop, flip over, chop. Okay? So that'd be the first motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I do it on my buddy here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, what's this do? Well, really more of a striking exercise, help you with positioning, learning responses, repositioning weapons, things like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we could add the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like the forearm drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice how we're shifting stances as we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like in the forearm drill with a partner, you can do the 2 sticks with a partner also. And we'll have that up soon, hopefully. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we can do our cross step, our transition. 9, 10. Then we go back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you have a good tree or post, you can just practice that. And start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.